Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So I got a really good topic for you today. We're going to talk about how much water that you should be drinking per day. So the body, give or take, is about 60% water. Now we're constantly losing water from our bodies, whether it's from urinating or sweating. Now there's many different opinions on how much water we should be drinking every day. I'm sure you've heard them all. Now the health authorities commonly recommend 8-ounce glasses, which equals about 2 liters or half a gallon a day. Now, this is called the 8x8 rule. It's really easy and simple to remember, but there's other health gurus out there that think that we're always on the brink of dehydration and that we need to sip on water constantly even if we're not even thirsty. So with most things, this is going to come down to each individual, and there's many factors, both internal and external, that can ultimately affect our need for water. So what I'd like to do is take a look at some of the studies on water intake and how it affects the function of the body and brain, then explain how to easily match water intake to individual needs. Now, question number 1, can more water increase energy levels and improve brain functioning? So many people claim that if we don't stay hydrated throughout the day, our energy levels and brain function can start to suffer. So there's actually plenty of studies to support this. In one study in women, a fluid loss of 1.36% after exercise actually impaired their mood and concentration while increasing the frequency of headaches as well. Now, there's other studies out there showing that mild hydration, we're looking at like 1 to 3% of body weight, caused by exercise or heat can actually negatively affect many other aspects of brain functioning as well. And keep in mind that just 1% of body weight is actually a fairly significant amount. So this happens primarily when you're sweating a lot, like during exercise or when you're in some high heated areas. Mild dehydration can also negatively affect physical performance, and that can lead to reduced endurance. Now, does drinking a lot of water help you lose weight? There's many claims about water having an effect on body weight, your total intake, and more water can increase metabolism and reduce your appetite. According to 2 different studies, drinking 500 milliliters or 17 ounces of water can temporarily boost metabolism by 24 up to 30%. Now, researchers estimate that drinking like 2 liters or 68 ounces in one day can actually increase energy expenditure by about 96 calories per day. And it may be best to drink cold water for this purpose, because then the body will actually need to expend energy to heat the water to body temperature. That's something to think about that you probably, often don't. Obviously, for most of us, not all of us, but most of us, we prefer cold water, but that's not the case for everybody. Drinking water about a half an hour before meals is also going to be able to reduce the amount of calories that we end up consuming, especially in older individuals. One study showed that dieters who drank 500 milliliters of water before meals lost 44% more weight over a period of 12 weeks compared to people that did not. Now, it seems that drinking adequate water, especially before meals, may have a significant weight loss benefit, especially when combined with a healthy diet. Now, does more water help prevent health problems? So there's several health problems that actually may respond well to increased water intake. Constipation is one. Increasing water intake can actually help with constipation, which is a very common problem. Cancer. Now there's some studies showing that those who drink more water have a lower risk of bladder and colon cancer, although other studies find no effect. So this is a circumstantial type of thing, and it always is with cancer. Kidney stones. Increased water intake appears to decrease the risk of kidney stones, and acne and skin hydration. Now, there's a lot of anecdotal reports on the internet about water helping to hydrate the skin and reducing acne, but I didn't find any studies to confirm or refute this, so take that with a grain of salt. Now, do other fluids count towards your total? Plain water is actually not the only thing that contributes to fluid balance. Other drinks and foods can also have a significant effect as well. One myth, though, is that caffeinated drinks like coffee or tea don't count because caffeine is a diuretic. But the studies that I read show that this isn't true, because the diuretic effect of these beverages is actually pretty weak. Most foods are also loaded with water. Meat, fish, eggs, and especially water-rich fruits and vegetables all contain significant amounts of water. If you drink coffee or tea and eat water-rich foods, then chances are that this alone is enough to maintain fluid balance as long as you're not sweating too much. Now, trust your thirst, because it's there for a reason. Actually, maintaining water balance is beyond essential for our survival. Let me explain. For this reason, evolution has provided us with the really intricate mechanisms for regulating when and how much we should be drinking. So when our total water content goes below a certain level, then thirst starts to kick in. So this is controlled by mechanisms similar to things like breathing. We don't need to consciously think about it. So for the majority of the people, there probably isn't any need to worry about water intake at all. Now, the thirst instinct is very reliable, and it's managed to keep us alive for a very long time. There's really no actual science behind the 8x8 rule. It's actually pretty arbitrary. But that being said, there are certain circumstances that may call for increased water intake. That is more than simple thirst commands. So, the most important one during times of increased sweating. This includes exercise as well as hot weather, especially in a really dry climate. If you're sweating a lot, you've got to make sure to replenish the lost fluid with water. Athletes doing very, very long, intense exercises need to replenish electrolytes along with water. Water need is also increased during breastfeeding, as well as several disease states like vomiting and diarrhea. Older people may actually need to consciously watch their water intake because some studies show that the thirst mechanisms can really start to malfunction as you get older. So, how much water is best? At the end of the day, no one can actually tell you how much you need. As with most things, this is going to be individual dependent. Do some self-experimentation, okay? Some people may function better with more water than usual, all right, while others, it only causes like an inconvenience of having to go to the bathroom more often. So that being said, I'm not sure if the small benefits of being optimally hydrated are even worth having to consciously think about. Life is complicated enough as it is. All right, so if you want to keep things simple, which is always a good idea, then these guidelines should apply to about 90% of the people. When you're thirsty, drink water, okay? When you're not thirsty, stop. During high heat and exercise, drink enough to compensate for lost fluids, and there you go. That's it. So that is the video on how much water you should be drinking. I hope this cleared up some things and it helped everybody, give you some studies, give you some background so you can see things that are mythical and actually true. So that being said, www.elitefitness.com /videos. You can see all of my new and old videos being produced uncut, uncensored daily. www.icearms.com /forums, and dylan@icearms.com is where you can get me with all questions and comments. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli signing off.